Hello, my name is Ron Nixa. I'm the Technical Service Manager of Key Machines for the Hillman Group. The purpose of these videos are to show you the maintenance on our key machine and our key machine programs and how to operate each one. We are going to show you how to operate the KD50 Key Machine. On the KD50, on the left-hand side of the base, there is an on-off switch, which is a constant power switch, and right next to the switch is a momentary brush switch, which is used to deburring the key. First of all, before you start cutting or get ready, you always want to wear a good set of safety glasses and wear that for your own safety. Now I'm going to show you how to operate the KD50. First of all, I'd like to show you how to properly hold a key blank for good key cutting techniques and proper laying inside of a vice jaw for proper seating. You want to hold it with your thumb on the head and your second finger behind the head, and you want to take your index finger and hold it on the tip. This way, when it's placed into the vice jaw, you got a good positive and straight insertion of the key, which will eliminate any problems or any miscuts and keep the key in properly. What you do is put the key, blank key, in the right jaw firmly, tighten it down, and then the next step is to rotate your finger gauge upwards. Now you will notice that the finger gauge is spring-loaded and it will rest against the shoulder of the right-hand blank key nice and tight. The next step is to take your customer's key, the pattern key also called, or the original, and you also want to hold it with the thumb and second finger. And what you want to do is you want to keep it and slide it into the left jaw. Then once you get it underneath the finger gauge to shoulder, you can put your finger back down on the tip to hold it securely, and it will go right up to the shoulder. You want to make sure that each of the finger gauges are nice and tight against the shoulder. Now, before you start your operation, and this is the first thing to do, is to line up your keys and load them up. The next thing is the KD50 was designed with a very nice heavy-duty safety shield, and it is has adjustment knurled knobs on the left-hand and right-hand side to adjust the tension, to make it a little bit easier to move or hold it securely. And you want to bring it down towards you, and you want to make sure that you cover a good part of the cover as much as you can, and a deburring brush. This will protect, but still, you always still want to wear a set of eye protection also with the shield for added protection. So once you have the shield down in place, now I'm going to show you the operation of cutting the key and putting it in a cutting position. Now, with your safety glasses, you want to put them on, make sure. Now, the way the KD50 is operated, the cutter and the motor will not turn on until the carriage handle and trigger assembly is released. Once this is released up to the cutter blade and motor will come on. So the next step is to turn on your power switch. Now, to know that your machine is in the power mode, you will notice the light in the back, which is also a great feature of the KD50. It's always needed for light to correctly adjust keys in the jaws and make sure that they are aligned properly. The next feature is you will notice the finger gauges are still up in the up position. This machine was designed when I'm going to show you how to release the handle and the knob. These finger gauges will automatically flip up out of the way. There are times that maybe they will not, or if there's key chips in there, you want to make sure that everything's clean. You can always take the knurled knob and place it down. But the majority of the time it will flip up out of the way, and you will notice it in this training video. Now I will show you how to put the key in the cutting position. You want to press down on your carriage handle and press down on your knob. You will notice the two finger gauges popped out of the way, clearly out of sight. And you will bring it up to the cutter, holding your lever handle securely. Place the pattern key on the left, put your key tracer or guide right off the side of the shoulder on the neutral area. The neutral area is the part next to the shoulder of the key, and it's a little flat spot before the first cut. Once you're all aligned properly, that's a good place to start. You don't want to be jamming it up against there and cutting into your shoulder. Now, once you have it up and you have the key machine running, you want to pull down on your lever handle in one steady, direct motion. You don't want to use a slow or stop or an erratic movement. One swift, slowly motion downwards is sufficient. Now we begin cutting by pulling down the lever handle, and you see how fast that cuts, and we are done. Now, to complete the operation, once the cutter is starting to go down the side of the tip, what you want to do is you want to move the carriage handle back to the right to clean up any missed spots and make sure that it's completely finished and done. The next step is to put your hand on the carriage handle, press down firmly. You will hear a click and a lockdown. You will know once you hear that click, and the great safety feature of this machine, the cutter stops, and it's probably a good idea to pull down your lever handle towards the left. The next step is to release your clamp handle assembly and take out your duplicated key. Now your next step is I'm going to show you how to deburr a key. Now this machine was designed to operate by using a momentary brush switch located to the on-off switch. Now by pressing this brush switch, it activates the deburring brush, and I also like to make a note that it does activate the cutter too. So you basically are just going to the deburring brush area. Now, when you're ready to deburr, you want to hold your key firmly, hold in the momentary brush switch, put your key on a downward angle underneath your brush, and lightly clean your brush, flip over, do the other side. Now, it's not necessary to overbrush. You just basically, it's designed to just clean the burrs off after a cut. Now, mostly a good blade and a new blade will basically leave it chip free. So if you notice at one certain point of time that you're spending more time trying to brush the key, and you notice that the cuts are kind of rolled over and mushroomed, and you're trying to get those burrs off, and you're pressing harder on the brush than should be, that indicates that your cutter needs replacing. So you want to make sure and remember that point, and never overbrush a key. That is not a good idea, and you can have problems by overbrushing. So that is the way you deburr a key. Next, you go to your left jaw. You always want to remember to remove the customer's key and give it back to the customer, and you are complete with the operation. After the key is cut, it's a good idea just to push the shield back, and after every key is cut or after each usage, it's a good idea and a safety factor just to shut off and go to the left side and put your rocker switch in the off position.